There's always someone or something to blame. There's always someone or something that we can blame. Blame for the way that our life looks, that we wish it was different. For the way our money looks, our sex looks, our relationships look, our job looks. We blame the government, blame our parents. We blame anything that is outside of us to explain why our internal and external reality isn't the one that we desire. And whether we realize it or not, we allow ourselves to be the victim of our circumstances in our life. We let ourselves shrink our energy, shrink our capacity as creators to create a fucking marvelous life. Because someone did something, someone said something, someone implemented policy that I decided is now the reason that I can't advance in my life. Now, what's shitty about it is that we fail to realize that most of the voices that rattle around inside of our head telling us what we can and can't do is a voice that was given to us, that was given to someone else. Like, for instance, my father saying that life is tough and money is hard, so you have to work hard and do something that you hate doing in order to maybe one day be able to retire, or whatever some version of that story is. But likely, if I go up that tree long enough, what we find is that there was someone else who went and shit on someone else's dreams, and we believed it. We didn't question it. We didn't decide to go out and pursue what God, Spirit, Universe put in our hearts. And when we allow ourselves to be the victim, when we allow ourselves to be at the effect of, we give away all of our power. I remember watching this YouTube video some years ago of Will Smith, and I'm loosely paraphrasing, but he said something like, "It's not your fault that you were abused. It's not your fault that you were born into an impoverished household. It's not your fault that you weren't educated, but it is your responsibility to do something about it." We all have different starting points. I have so many blessings in my life that allowed me to have an air quote further starting point than some people, and there's some people at a further starting point than me. And I can bitch and moan and complain about all the ways that I wish my parents and my family had done this, and I wish I hadn't experienced these traumas, etc. But what if every single part of it was, what if we chose it? What if instead of me relating to the political environment and whoever is president and whether certain government services are or aren't working, what if instead of saying, well, this is why I can't get ahead in life, and saw it as something outside of me that I couldn't influence or didn't take any part of, what if this is the exact pathway that more connected to everything version of me before we came down, set a plan? It's like, hey, here are the lessons that we needed to learn. Here are the experiences that we needed to have. What if every single part of this was a part of a grander plan, and that my resistance to that plan is what has me feel so distant from the beauty of my life? Mind you, even as I'm sitting where I am in beautiful Lake Atitlan, Guatemala, I let so many silly little things keep me from feeling the peace that I do right now, when it was just as simple as coming back to nature and walking around barefoot and eating high quality foods and laughing and disconnecting, because it's so easy to get bogged down with all the different responsibilities in life. Things that we need to be doing. But not letting not choosing and seeing that the victim consciousness is one of choice, but rather seeing that creator consciousness says, somehow I chose this, and I am going to lean into what it is I am here to learn from this. And when I take this approach and I apply it anywhere, if I apply it in my sex, if I apply it in my money, if I apply it anywhere, if I apply the principle of somehow I chose this and somehow this is for me, my entire perspective changes. What I'm looking for, because we always find what we're looking for. If I'm looking for all the different things in my life that are shit, I find more of that. But if I focus on the things that feel really good, then I start to feel better. And that's not to say that life doesn't get tough and that terrible, hurtful things happen, because they do. But what a radically crazy thing to say that, dang, like, the most beautiful things and also the most terrifying things, like somehow I'm choosing this. And what would happen if I made a different choice? I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to feel afraid of what hasn't come, because I feel like it is something outside of me that I didn't choose. I don't want to live my life waiting for the other shoe to turn, or whatever that saying is. I want to live my life with the excitement and the joy of not needing to know what the next step is, and believing fully that whatever the next step is was already laid out in the most beautiful way, exactly the way it was intended. And that I will become a stronger, more resilient, more loving, more kind and compassionate human when I can meet every aspect of the light and the dark, the unicity that this life is. We are not victims. We were not meant to be afraid. We were not meant to toil and boo-hoo and wah because of the circumstances with which we've been blessed with in this life. No, we were meant to celebrate, to live the fuck out of it, to have some fucking fun, to learn, to grow, to be challenged. And if for no other reason than because we say so. Because you say so. So maybe I'll choose to let go of something that we have been allowing to have more control over us, to let the energy of it be bigger than us, because it is not. We are much greater. I love you a shit ton. And I'm so proud of you for whatever it is that you are creating. Peace.